And welcome to another episode of Stagged, episode number 2. It's a podcast of speedruns and gaming related stuff or news, but mostly speedruns. Last time we had JP talking about all sorts of different things, and today we have even more of a crazy personality, a Norwegian speedrunner slash content creator. This guy plays a lot of different games. He does speedrunning. He loves Mega Man 5. He's absolutely crazy, like I said. And because of it, I think his content is also slightly addictive. Or highly addictive, maybe. But yeah, welcome in KaiserKrister, also known as Christopher from Norway. Not really, but almost. Chrissy. That's the name we're going to use, right? So yeah, how's it going?
We can
welcome.
do that. Thank you. I'm glad that you would have me here. I'm actually surprised that you trust me enough to be here as well.
What do you mean trust? Why wouldn't I trust you?
I'm Christopher from Norway. You know,
Norway. Yep.
That should be enough, right?
I mean, just like I said, your streams are pretty crazy at times. So
yeah, we have a lot of fun with the clips, right? Like, what will happen in this clip is like, whoa.
that's
yeah.
Well, let's just dive right into it. What do you stream? What do you do? Tell me about yourself. Let people know, who are you?
So I'm Chrissy, or KaiserKrister. I do a lot of really weird games and stuff, and I just do a lot of collections of games. And what I like to do is just to be a little bit over the top and crazy. It's because it's fun to just have fun, right? And not care not care too much about what happens.
Yep.
But yeah, sometimes we get some interesting results.
To say the least. Do you? As far as I know, you have been streaming with a lot of your friends. Is that like a common thing to do all the time?
Yeah, we have this thing in my mod team that we sometimes play games together, and recently we played a game called Repo. You seen that?
A lot of people have been recommended me to play it as well, but I don't really know about the game. So how's that?
It's a really fun game, and it's basically like Lethal Company and Content Warning and those kind of games, but it focuses a lot more on like the comedic parts of it as well. So
okay.
So I one of the things that we did during the last stream we had together is that we put each other into toilets and we flushed each other down the drain.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds a bit random, right?
Yeah, I know, right? But it's a really fun game, and it's really fun with friends. Yeah.
It's a co-op game. Like, what's the goal of it?
So it is a co-op game. You can play up to 6 people.
Okay.
The goal is like you want to reach like a certain quota for each level. Like you want to pick up items and bring them back to the base, right? It is incredibly funny with the monsters because they have such a variety, and they do a lot of different things to like spice up the game, right? I don't want to tell too much about it because I kind of want, if you're planning to maybe play this or somebody else listening, it would be really fun to get their, fresh reaction to meeting them, right?
Right, okay, I see what you mean. That's sounds like an interesting game to play. I've been playing a lot of co-op games lately, so maybe that's something I could pick up as well. Unless it really
you
needs
should.
like more than 2 people. Like, what's the recommended amount of people in the game? 6?
No, you can play it. You can even play it alone. But
okay.
like, the game has like smaller and bigger things to collect. If you want to collect the bigger things, you need more people to help lifting them back, if that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm.
So you can still do it alone, but it will be, slower. So yeah, but it's very, very much fun with friends. Like, I would really recommend it. It's definitely do it if you have the time.
If you have friends.
If you have friends.
All right, well, let me I gotta type that out and see. What was the name again?
Repo.
Repo, okay, yeah.
REPO.
With the scary smiley face as the logo, right?
Yeah. It looks like a shit post, basically, but
yeah.
it's not.
Right, I remember that. But yeah, like I said, your content is very highly addictive, and on my channel as well, people have been spamming your clips to no end, hundreds of them, to be honest. And most of these clips have been you screaming or something happening. And if there's one thing in common, people have been clipping your horror game clips or clips out of horror games. Like, what is your relationship with horror games? And like, do you like playing them? Because as far as I understand, you're kind of a, you're scared of horror games. So what motivates you to play games you don't really find comfortable playing?
So let's get that ball right out of the park and say, like, I hate horror games. It's the worst thing,
right?
ever. But I started this thing 3 years ago called Week of Horror, which is a charity event that I hold. For an entire week, I play only horror games, and it's we get money into charity during that whole week, and I feel like that's a good balance for me, that I can help somebody else while putting myself in pain.
Right.
Yeah. But it's I'm really scared of horror games, like, in general. It's I really, really don't like it, but I can survive it, right? But it all started because of that, and we got in $2,500 last event, and I'm just so happy that we're able to just help others while just messing around, right? So
wow, that's actually a considerable amount of money as well. What was the charity for?
It was for mental health, actually.
Some Norwegian company, or just in general?
Oh, it was for you're asking the questions that I should be knowing right now.
No, the money just went to my pocket.
Yeah. No. It went to a mental health charity in America. I do not have the name in mind right now because I am already knee deep in, planning for other things. So it's just so much right now, right?
Yeah.
So, but it's it went to a good place to help people.
I assume it was one of those Twitch charities you just picked, right?
Yeah.
Like from Twitch
we did a lot to raise money for that last week of horror we did. It was just really fun, and it's a thing that we will keep doing. So next October it's gonna be another one. And there's a lot of new horror games that apparently my mods were like, "Hey, you played this game now." And I'm like, no, let's wait till October. It's fine.
Man, that's awesome. Like, that much money already into a good cause. I assume you enjoy doing charity events, because you have been in some of my hosted charity events as well. But do you enjoy organizing these things, or is it just something you love doing just because of charity?
So I've been I started out as a speedrunner in 2016, and I've been running a lot of games. I've been like I still love speedrunning, but I feel like I enjoy more like planning and holding events.
Yeah.
And like meeting the community and stuff. But that's not me saying that. I don't speedrun anymore because I do, but I don't really have the time really anymore.
Yeah.
Because I want to take things to a new level, I guess. Not trying to sound like like diva-ish or fancy-ish, right?
Well, I mean, that's understandable. Values and especially, like you said, time is something people kind of lack these days. So speedrunning becomes a different kind of a thing for most people. Like myself, I've been trying to do a lot of variety stuff lately and less speedrunning, but it's always there speedrunning when I feel like it and keeping the motivation up when the motivation is up. Sometimes it's not when it comes to speedrunning, but um, variety is a good thing for streaming for sure. Speaking of motivation, by the way, since you have done charity stuff and all sorts of different stuff, since we are both Nordics, we supposedly love cold weather. I don't, but apparently people assume that we do. Does seasons play any role in your own motivation, by the way? So, as in, are you more motivated to produce content during summertime or the dark winter months, or does it even matter to you at all?
To be fully honest, I think that summertime is when I'm the least productive.
Is there a reason for it?
The heat, really.
Oh, the heat. You don't like the heat?
No, I really like winter and the cold. Like if I freeze, I can put on more clothes, and or put it to take up the heat in the house, right?
Yeah.
There's also because during winter, there's not really any bugs either, or at least not many bugs. Very random,
true.
but I hate spiders, man, and wasps. So
there's a is that like a phobia?
no. But
Just
they're,
don't like them.
I don't like them.
Yeah, okay, makes sense. Well, since kind of skipping from one thing to another, I obviously like heat. I like summer, but I feel like summer is the time when there's more people just not around online. They have so much to do otherwise, and like the winter time is the one that where people are online because they cozy apartment, cozy houses, so they just go inside and play games online with friends. Is that the same thing with you guys as well? Like your moderator team and everything, all the friends you have there?
I feel like we have like a drive throughout the year. It's not like I go into hibernation during summer. It's just more that I cannot produce or do as much things because it's like sitting inside of the office because I have like a own office for my like streaming stuff, right?
Yeah.
It can get really hot in here. Plus that like even opening windows can not help sometimes because of the weather, right? Like if it's too hot, it will not do anything. So
and
yeah, we're quite like all year around. It only depends on when we can like get together and play games, right? So
yeah. Well, since like I said before, we are Nordics, and I assume your windows have been constructed the same way ours have, like double windows and layers, so it keeps actually the heat in instead of letting it out. So that's another reason why a lot of Nordic people don't enjoy hot summers, because it really gets hot inside houses and apartments when sun gets in, and if you don't have a proper AC, then it might get a little bit toasty. I like sauna.
I was about to say, it reminds me about the new hip song from Finland/Sweden, right?
Oh yeah, the
Bada
Eurovision
Bada Bastu.
one.
Yeah, Bada Bada Bastu.
It's It's kind of a funny, completely unrelated to this conversation right now, but that's actually a song that is um, like Finnish people are crazy about it, and they completely ignore our entry to the Eurovision now because we have a song talking about saunas here.
Yeah, no, hey, it's not 100% not related. We're talking about the warm, PC room saunas right now.
Oh yeah, well,
That's
true.
related, eh?
How hot does it get in your office?
I mean, usually it's like, let's say it's like 25 Celsius outside, right?
So
I, yeah, 20. Do we need those in freedom units?
no, well, no. I mean, everyone can translate that, but let's say 25 Celsius, and I assume it's like at least 35 plus in your office then.
Yeah, about that ish. It's
Ouch.
like you end up sitting there in like a t-shirt and a shorts, right? That's basically what I use during summer. Are shorts and a t-shirt. It's
And just sweating away.
yeah, melting away, right? That's pretty much it.
Um, well, that's basically sums up the entire summer
Yeah.
for a lot of Nordic peoples. Um, since you have been making a lot of content lately, you've been making these crazy streams like we just talked about, but you have also been focused on YouTube content as well. So tell people about your YouTube history. You've been like making videos, very researched and edited videos. Usually takes a lot of time, and it's such a different world compared to streaming, where you just put the stream on and that's it. You try to be as interactive as you can with the audience and you play the game and whatnot. But making the videos on YouTube is a whole different story when it comes to content creator and or content creation. And you've been making some pretty awesome videos lately. Tell me about those.
So I've been making YouTube videos for like almost 12 years now. Not on the same channel, of course. There's been some let's call them like attempts.
Right.
And like those channels have of course like been deleted because it's just like too much work, or at least privated, right?
Yeah.
But I started KaiserKrister, which is the channel, in 2017, I think, like a year after I started speedrunning.
Mm-hmm.
And I attempted like doing I don't know, I don't think you really know any of the content creators I tried to like do. Let's just say I tried to copy their style, right? So I tried a little bit of like a review style, or a like let's play style, or you know, like a funny compilation style.
Yeah.
Didn't really hit the spot. And then I was like, hey, I really love speedrunning. Why don't I do like a speed documentary kind of style, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I used an entire year. It shouldn't have taken that long, but it's trying to stay motivated on big projects. It's really hard sometimes. But I managed to get the motivation I needed to finish that video, and that was the Mega Man 1 world record history video.
Yeah.
That one got like really, really good feedback. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, maybe I should do more of these. And then I started working on more Mega Man world record history videos. But then I kind of just got I got too busy with like other projects, right? Like, you know, marathons and
Charities and whatnot.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
And then I wanted to kind of decide, where do I want to go with YouTube, and I found out last year, in fact, after a very long time, that I wanted to do only speedrun related things and glitched things on my main channel.
Okay.
So I actually made a second channel where I could put like all my, as you called it, the crazy stuff, right? Like just the random stuff that I want to share with my friends and stuff.
Okay, so like a less serious channel, and then we have this main channel which has like fully edited stuff, right?
Yep, exactly. Actually, it's so original that I called the second channel KaiserKrister Plus.
Is there a reason for the plus? I could think of a few reasons.
Not really. No. It was either KaiserKrister Plus or KaiserKrister More, and I felt like KaiserKrister Plus sounded better.
Yeah, I agree. That's a good idea. I should probably think about doing the same thing, just separating the content. I usually just mix up everything myself, but that seems to be a more professional way to do it. Have your
it can be a blessing and a curse, right? Because you would split your audience and stuff.
a little bit,
and,
yeah.
But I decided to do that last year, and with some help and some motivation, I finally found a way to write and record and edit videos within a certain time frame, and something that made me feel energized throughout the thing.
Yeah.
So the last 4 months, I've made like 3 videos, and my most recent one did really well. I'm very happy that people enjoyed it. So yeah, never give up. It takes many years, but never give up.
True. I mean, yeah, that's probably one of the best advice you can give to anyone. Just keep going what you do, and you said something about like copying someone's, like, not necessarily videos, but just the way they do things. That's pretty common, though, to be honest. Like you draw inspiration from others, and just eventually it will mold into your own thing, which you start doing. So there's nothing wrong with that at all. I do it all the time and seek inspiration from others. Of course, it always feels amazing when people are drawing inspiration from you as well, which eventually most likely will happen, as long as you eventually people will grow up their channels or whatnot. So there's more people going to watch you and draw the similar inspiration from you then, which it's just it keeps going forever. The same kind of a thing on YouTube, Twitch, whatever. You look up to others, and then there's going to be people who will look up to you as well. Speaking of your videos, what was the latest video was something about a map glitch, right?
Yeah, the last video that I made was on Dark Cloud and Present, explained technically. That whole video, I'm not gonna say too much about it, because I mean I want people to actually watch it and experience it.
Exactly.
But it's a very, very broken game where a menu basically gets you to the end of the game. Technically,
it's really funny to see this kind of videos, because usually when people do speedruns in, let's say, some kind of a event, charity event or whatever, they explain every trick briefly. But then there's these really complicated ones where you can make a video or two just explaining one thing, how complicated and just complex something could be to understand. Some runners don't even care about learning how something works, but that's okay. Some people just want to run the game, but then we have people like Christopher here who dwells into the details of a specific trick and how things work. And to be honest, that's really interesting. Like if you want to check some of these videos Chrissy has done, definitely go and give him a follow in YouTube, because I'm pretty sure he's going to do a lot more of these, right?
Yeah, I should probably mention that and give you some
preview.
Yeah, I can tell you and the people listening what the next video is going to be about.
Ooh, let's hear it.
So my next video is going to be Mega Man related.
Oh, I'm listening.
No, I'm sorry. I've said too much.
Is that all? Okay, damn.
Yeah.
Well, now I'm intrigued being the Mega Man runner here. Damn. Cool.
It's a Rockman Forte world record history. No, I'm just kidding. Not yet.
Oh,
Not yet.
that probably wouldn't take a whole lot of time, depending, considering how small amount of history it has. But would be nice to get it.
Yeah. You never know. You never know.
Yeah, I have to ask about this. Once again, we're keeping this motivation and inspiration theme going on in this conversation, but I was looking at your Twitch profile just yesterday, and you have your speedruns listed there.
I haven't updated that in years, but all right, go on.
Yeah. I figured as much because I've seen you running different games as well, but there was one thing that I remembered.
I think I know what this is.
it was your Mega Man 1 through 11. It's this is a challenge by itself that you play 12 games. There is these classic Mega Man games 1 through 11, and then there's also Rockman and Forte, also known as Mega Man and Bass, which is considered as a classic game. And you do all these things in one sitting. I think I mentioned about this on my previous podcast episode, but it took me about 7 to 8 hours ish. I think the first attempt was over 8 hours. But then this crazy person, Chrissy, he does it in over 23 hours. Which, once again, there's nothing to laugh about this matter because some of these games are extremely difficult. And if you just have no idea, or if you haven't practiced a lot, then this might take this much time. But the question is, where does this kind of motivation come from? Like, are you the kind of person that just never gives up no matter what? I mean, you're close to 24 hours. That's not exactly healthy anymore. So what drives you to just finish the job? Which you did. And I'm super happy and proud of you that you did. But what drives you to motivate to finish the job no matter what?
So I've been doing a lot of these challenges throughout the 10 years of streaming, called Hardcore Fridays, and one of those challenges was playing a game called Desert Bus. And Desert Bus is basically you sit there for 8 hours driving a bus and you cannot leave at all during that whole thing. But yeah, I've done that. It's a challenge, okay? So I've been doing that. I think I've done that 4 times in total for different like charities and stuff. But I just like doing like a challenge type of thing. And when I did the Mega Man 1 through 11 run, I had practiced 1 through 6 and a little bit of 7. All the other Mega Man games on that list were not blind, but I had watched you play Rockman and Forte. Actually, you and working actually. That's all that I had done for that. But I think big.
just briefly pausing you there. Let me tell you a little secret that 1 through 6, like NES games, you can go there blind and finish the games in a few. Well, depending how you go, but probably shouldn't take you that much time. But yeah, if you go somewhat blind for the later titles of Mega Man series, that's where the problem is.
Yeah,
they are really hard.
I think you went to bed when I just finished Mega Man 9, because I remember that I was on the last boss of Mega Man 9, and I was so happy after I beat Wily, because I was there for like an hour or 2 or 3. I don't remember really. There was one place in each game for the last ones that like kept me there a while. But yeah, then you woke up and I was like in Blockman stage getting lives. The first message I see is like a mod, and then it's a message like, You sound like a zombie. Are you okay?
that was what I was about to say as well. It's like you were so happy to do the challenge. I remember you starting the entire run from Mega Man 1, obviously, and you were like full of energy. You were ready for this. Let's go. And then towards the end, you were like, oh, I'm gonna die. It's just...
But it's like when you have so little energy that you passed the point of being tired, that you're just sitting there and you're just like going on zombie autopilot, right? Like you're not tired anymore. You're not hungry. You're not anything. You're just like sitting there and just doing the things. That's basically. I don't remember what happened during that last part. I just played video games.
But you did it. That's what matters.
I did do it. Yeah.
You finished it.
So I guess Triple M is next. One weekend. I gotta say though, I'm a little bit better at 1 through 11 now than I was.
I have to believe, yeah.
Yeah, you just believe. That's good.
I believe. I mean, you've been... That experience alone probably just made you go slightly better with the games, but the fact that you managed
Rockman and 4-Day I'm still bad at. But
well, that's a given.
Not saying that I'm good either, but you get the point.
Yeah, I mean, there's really not a whole lot of people who are good at that game. The game just hates you.
Yeah.
That's basically what it is, but... That is an achievement. I did my first 24-hour stream 2 years ago on my birthday, and I don't want to ever do it again.
Yeah, I did 12 hours for mine recently, and I was like, how can people do this? I used to be able to do this longer. It's like,
I know. Yeah. You get older, and it's keeps getting harder and harder. But what happened to me is that after... Well, around 12 hours, yeah. That's when I started to get really sleepy. And then that's either you really want to change the game, or especially if there's no one on the chat to talk with you, it's going to be so hard to focus. So just change the game or do whatever it takes to get a second win. And when you get the second win, then things actually were pretty smooth sailing for me, at least. I don't know how about you, if you felt the same thing when you did these long streams, but
so it's like hard. I feel like the Mega Man community that watches my streams, and like the people who watch my casual content, I feel like those are two different like groups of people.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it was really nice. Like, there was people from both sides, by the way, but it was really nice to have people, like, from America and stuff popping in during the night and be like,
yeah,
you doing good? It's like, no.
You okay?
But, yeah, it's I feel like having people in chat just, like, saying hi once in a while gave me a lot of energy. But there was a few points where, like, my stream is not big at all. So, like, sometimes there will be some dead time, right? So, but, I mean, it went well. Like, I don't think I can sit for 23 hours now.
Yeah.
But,
it's a lot of work.
Yeah. Remember, I'm an old man now. I can say that, right? I can say that, right? 30?
You just turned 30. I'm almost 40, so you know. There's
what do you mean? You're always 29.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
At least mentally, I'm like 15. So, but that doesn't matter. So, talking about these silly stream challenges you have been doing in the past, what is the craziest ones you have done? I mean, 1 through 11 was pretty crazy, but you have so many challenges you have done in the past. What do you just give me top 3.
Top 3.
Yeah.
Okay. So can Mega Man 1 through 11 be one of them?
It can be one of them. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Let's put that as the third one then.
Okay.
Oh, you're putting me on the spot here.
I am. What do you feel like either super motivated you to do these kind of things, or made you just feel really happy that you achieved it? Maybe some.
Okay. I have number one at least. Sorry. I
Okay.
think for the second one, I think I want to say Desert Bus.
Okay.
Yeah.
And like Chrissy said, you just drive a road and that's it. Does anything even happen in the game?
There might be a bug that hits the windshield.
Oh wow, that's
Yeah.
that's something.
No, but it sounds really boring, and it is really boring. But
Yeah.
it's really fun because like I usually each time before I start the stream, when we're doing Desert Bus, I put myself into a voice channel.
Yeah.
And I allow my mods to pop in so they can keep me company. And sometimes they pull in people like friends that aren't mods, right? That needs to be pulled in. And
Yeah.
it just ends up becoming like a long podcast. Technically, if we make it very easy explained, right? So we have a lot of fun, and of course there's the Sammy or the soundboard things, and you
Yeah.
know it just becomes an adventure by itself. So
That's
yeah.
Can you actually fail that challenge
Yes, you
when
can.
you drive? Oh, you can. Okay.
If you don't turn left enough, the bus will drive off the road and you will be pulled back and you lose.
And you have to start all over again.
Yep.
That's gruesome.
So
How
you
much
do
does
not
it
have
take?
time to like go from the old one, like, so you would get towed back.
Yeah.
So if I release the button holding left,
Mm-hmm.
it would take the bus about 3 seconds to go over to the other side.
Okay. So you got to do something at least.
Yeah, you do not have time to go pee, for an example.
Wow. So you were holding P for 6 hours.
Yeah, okay, so I'm gonna explain this very quickly. My process of doing this
Yeah.
is that I eat a big meal and drink a lot of like whatever I want, right? Like if it's soda or water, and
Yeah.
then I wait till I have to use the bathroom, and then I use the bathroom, and then I start my PC. And set everything up, and I bring 1 bottle of water, and I think it was like 3 muesli bars, I think. And then
So-
I start playing.
You were fully prepared for it as well.
Hey, it's you have to have something, right? You have to be like prepared. And it's not like you cannot have Indian food, for example, and then go straight into it, because then you'll die, right?
You'll poop.
Yeah, so there's a little bit of planning, but it's a challenge after all, right? It's not like a casual fun playthrough.
Well, I mean, it's a challenge in multiple layers because you've got to focus for the bus to stay on the highway, and then you got to hold your pee. Wow, I didn't think about that way, but man, I don't think I could do it myself. Good job.
But number one, which is probably my no, the achievement that I'm the most happy about,
Yeah.
is that when I catched all Pokemon, one of each every Pokemon, within 1 month.
Does this include like just one gen?
No, every
generation?
generation. So 1,025 Pokemon was caught in 1 month.
Wow. And how many games did you have to play to catch all of those?
So we allowed the community to like gift Pokemon as well, but they would have to trade with me, right? So I would have to catch something as well. But we used some Generation 1 games and 2 games from, they were released on the 3DS as like a virtual console. So you can connect that to Pokemon Bank, which allows you to bring Pokemon up like to the newer games.
Yeah.
So we used that. We used all the 3DS Pokemon games, the Switch games. Pokemon Go was used.
Wow, even that.
Yeah, and the hardest part of that challenge was like the mythical Pokemons like Mew and Keldeo and like those. So I was gifted some Pokemon that do not get like given away anymore. Like the last time they were given away was like 2014. But yeah, it was really fun to like just collect everything. It's not like I have, like I got one Bulbasaur and I evolved it 3 times. Like I have a Bulbasaur, Ivysaur, and Venusaur.
Yeah.
So it's a full living dex, as it's called, and it was just so fun, right? And like I was like, oh yeah, I want to just do that. That will be fun.
Wow. So okay. I kind of figured in my mind that you would just try to evolve them as well, but since you literally collected everything, each form as well, that was a challenge by itself. I actually remember you doing the challenge when I was playing Pokemon Sword and Shield, and there was a couple of Pokemons I was willing to give you as well, but I think you found them already, so...
Yeah, it's a lot of people were like, "Do we have this yet?" I was like, "Yeah, I sadly do." We even made a system connected to Sammy that was connected to Google Sheets.
Ah, yeah.
So people could like search up if the Pokemon was caught or not.
Yeah.
So a lot of things went into that. But the saddest thing of this whole thing is that now Pokemon, like playing Pokemon feels kind of hollow to me. Like there's nothing. I feel like there's nothing for me right now, if that makes any sense, right?
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's something I would never be able to do myself. But how many months did it take for you to finish the whole thing?
1 month. 1 month.
Oh, it's just 1 month.
Yeah.
And
well, it took less than 1 month, but yeah, it was like under a month.
How much time did you spend per day to finish this challenge?
I think I streamed almost every day.
Mm-hmm.
For like 2 to 6 hours, I think. But it was mostly just me sitting there, right, talking with chat and catching some Pokemon on my 3DS and then moving them up and, stuff like
crazy
that.
stuff.
Yeah.
Unbelievable that you managed to pull it off, but you did. So congratulations.
Hey, it's a fun challenge. It's a really fun challenge.
Not something I would do, but challenge is a challenge, and you're obviously challenging yourself. So gotta do those.
My question then, Ahmad, when are you catching that shiny Xerneas?
I don't know. That's probably never gonna happen at this point, since.
Don't worry, I have a shiny Stantler you can have.
Well, that's something I will not accept, even if it would be the shiniest Stantler in the freaking universe.
I actually kind of funny thing. I have a box of shiny Stantlers named Ahmad.
You know what? You can transfer all those shiny Stantlers to me, so I can just delete them on stream one by one as painfully as I can.
It could be a good giveaway. What do you mean?
Yeah, giveaway when I delete them. Oh, you won a Stantler. Oh, I'm sorry, but it's going to get deleted right now. So, too bad. Done.
Oy, oy, oy.
And now it's time for Deep Thoughts with Ahmad.
Hitbox seems to be immersively big. Immersively big. Talk about deep thoughts with Ahmad again. Ahmad again. Wow, I'm choking into my own tongue. Okay, well, you said you have done content creation at least on YouTube for how many years? Way before your speedrun career, right?
12-ish years.
Okay. So I've done content creation from 2006. And that
Oi.
was practically right after I finished my mandatory military service, because we Finns have to go through that, guys at least. Throughout the years, I experienced all sorts of hateful comments, whether on my YouTube comments or just simply on Twitch chat. It used to be such a kind of a big deal to handle such comments, since some of them just kind of went straight under my skin, which is definitely not the case these days, but used to be. It was causing a lot of stress and a lot of doubts about myself and just about my own content as well. Am I doing this right? What should I improve? Blah, blah, blah. Eventually, I kind of stopped caring. And just knowing there's still plenty of people who loves what I do, even if it's a small portion. Like these days, my channels are small at best. Like, despite having a partner on Twitch, there's still a lot of quiet moments on my streams. It's not a 24-hour active chat. So I kind of learned to process this information in my head and how to handle it during my streams. But at least I'm making someone smile. That's always been my motto when it comes to streaming and content creation. At least there's one or two people that enjoys the stuff or watches the stuff, and that's how I handle all these negative stuff, which eventually happens to all of us, by the way. If you're a content creator or a streamer, this kind of thing happens all the time. You get that one person, two persons. There's going to be tons of people who just hates your stuff. There's going to be a hateful comment. There's some kind of a troll comment. They try to pull you down no matter what, because that's apparently something that makes them feel good, which we don't understand at all. But hey, each of their own. But I kind of started to ignore, and I learned to ignore them in the past. And these days, if someone gives me a negative feedback, then there's two different methods I'm handling it. It's either I'm taking a constructive feedback, which usually, by the way, when people type these kind of things, are not constructive in any way, but I'm trying to process it in constructive manner. Or if it's complete a-hole move or text, then it's just easy to ignore. I don't care about them. But how do you process hateful comments, Chrissy?
So I've of course encountered it as well, but not as much. Like the older channels that I had did not really get too much traction. But I've had some that have said like, oh, your voice is shit. You're not doing any. You're not being funny. You're not doing it right. Blah blah blah. Right.
Yeah.
I have personally just ignored it. But the last years I've been trying to, reply to them and be like, okay, what do you not like, right? Like, what do you want me to do? Like, do you want me to be more serious? Do you want me to be less crazy? I'm not giving them the satisfaction, right? I'm just following them up on the thing. If they say, hey, your voice is bad, right?
Yeah.
Then I ask them yeah, all right, that's fine feedback. Like, what would you want to recommend, right? And usually they do not reply at all. Like, it's just pure silent, because they're not getting they're not getting the thrill, right, anymore. Because I'm yeah, but it's I would just recommend people ignore it, because you have people watching your content that enjoy your company, and that's all you need. You don't need some random person on YouTube telling you that, oh, your voice sucks, man.
So, that is a good point. Like I said as well, ignoring is one thing, but there's a lot of personalities out there who like I mentioned, goes under your skin pretty easily, and then you allow that one thought to control your next couple of days, losing your sleep because of it, because someone commented that your voice sucks or whatever. It's hard to ignore sometimes, and I guess just talking with your friends or just continuing doing what you do and what you love doing is the way to go. Of course, I can't say myself either when sometimes when there's a nasty comment that my mind races. You give it a few thoughts. How could I improve
but
it?
it's a lot about like trying to like raise yourself over the message, right? Like you want to be sure with yourself that what you made is good content, right? Like you are happy with the result. If other people, there will always be people that don't like your stuff. Like you will not be able to make any perfect content ever.
Nope. That's a really good advice right there. You can't just make your own stuff, produce your own stuff, because just like in content creation on YouTube or Twitch, for example, there's millions of different people, and if you don't like someone, you don't like someone. Simple as that. But it's also pretty useless to leave a comment that your thing sucks. That's always something I discourage people to do. But of course, people are people, and we just have to get past these hateful comments and push through.
Yeah, but it's I don't want to sound like an asshole, but I really 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 like it when someone leaves a rude comment, and like I reply with something like, "All right, thank you so much for that amazing feedback. Would you like to elaborate?" Right? or I appreciate it, because that just kills off their vibe immediately. And if you manage to like how do we say this? Like imagine though, you're sitting there, you reply that, and then suddenly your comment gets more likes than the troll one. That just shows that there is people out there that actually, think before they write something.
Funny example here. On the first episode of this podcast as well, there was a person who called that they don't want to listen a podcast where you struggle with words, or you're speaking a language that is not even your native language. I did get that comment from one person, and I just
I'm so sorry that I don't speak England very good.
Yeah, I know. It did bother me for a little bit, but then I was like, I'm just gonna reply that, hey, at least I'm speaking different languages, fluently.
Hey.
That was probably an a-hole move again, but had to do something. Had to process the information somehow, and they replied to that message with a single emote, an angry emote. They had no words to reply. So.
But that's what's good with our communities, though, Ahmad. Like, we have loving people around us, and we have fun with what we do, right?
Yeah.
So, that's a good thing.
Well, yeah, that is true. And just like all these negative comments, it's just part of content creation, and people just have to get used to them. It's just what we get, all of us. And if you don't get them, then I don't know, you must be the greatest person in the world.
Some people feel like they're on top of the world when they're behind their computers.
Yeah.
So they think they think there's no consequences sometimes when they write something.
Yeah.
So
especially these days, everything is online, so people can hide behind their screens easily. But leave a compliment if you can. That's it's a good motivational thing for everyone. Chrissy is making these YouTube videos as well. Just leave a comment. Not necessarily the one I was just speaking about, bad comments, but something encouraging.
Why you not speak good England?
Yeah. Why are you not born in USA? God damn it. But yeah, small compliment, even a random comment something about, hey, that's a great video. People actually have no idea how much motivation that gives a content creator just to get one comment like that. Even on Twitch, it's very common to lurk. Like I feel like 90% people are just lurking and watching a stream without being interactive with the streamer, when in reality the streamer actually wants to hear from you. Of course, I fully understand the people who wants to lurk and just, they don't want to have the interactivity of like a streamer calling you out on whatever, and that's fine. But just making everyone know that even having a tiny little piece of acknowledgement for the streamer, like hello, how you doing, and that's all. You would
But
be
you
surprised.
you also
how
have
big-
to. Sorry, but you have to remember that like I can say it from my perspective. Like saying hello kind of dedicates you to like continue a conversation sometimes. Not really, but it kind of dedicates you to hang out a little bit. So if you're in a rush, it might be better to just like lurk and just sit there, right?
Yeah,
But
true.
as a mod says, it's really, it makes our day just having like hello and like having a new interaction and like just seeing like, oh you tuned in, it's very nice.
I know a little gesture like that, but never necessary. It's just something people enjoy seeing on streams or YouTube comments. That kind of leads to the next question. What does interactivity mean to you in general? Like, do you feel like it's easier to stream when there's an active chat, or does it even matter to you? Because, like you said, you've been hanging out with the moderators in your streams and whatnot. So, if someone actually speaks with you on stream, does it just motivate you to continue to stream, or is there like no difference whatsoever?
Like of course it's always awesome to have new people to say hello to. But I don't really think too much about like viewer counts or anything. Like I
Yeah.
usually stream to, if I stream to do speedrun attempts, I am actually focused on doing the speedruns. Of course interacting with chat as well, but like that my focus is speedrunning. And when I do casual stuff, if it's not something I planned, like if it's like an event that I planned, I usually like do like a let's play kind of thing, and then I just focus on like getting in 2 hours of that game, right? While like just chilling and vibing. So I don't really can't really say that I care too much about at least not viewer count. I care a lot about my viewers, but like if they want to be silent, that's fine, and if they want to talk, that's fine as well.
Yeah. I feel like if you're just watching your viewer count all the time on OBS or whatever, I feel like that just adds another layer of stress on your streaming.
Yeah, I've just recently started like hiding it.
Yeah, that's probably something people don't even realize, but just looking at stats and numbers, even though we all want them to grow and go up, but it can be pretty depressing just to look at the numbers just staying still and not really moving anywhere.
And like I would probably have to add in there that like you won't get 100 viewers, or not even maybe even 10 viewers when you first start out streaming. Like
yeah,
it can fluctuate so much. It's like just focus on having fun. That's that's the part that is important.
Yeah, I mean, people with the mentality of doing a full-time streaming as a job, right, without even having any kind of community, that's a death sentence right there. It's not going to work.
No, that's gonna be really hard, if anything. So,
yeah, like if you have an idea, for example, there's this one Finnish guy who's been making like English videos of him camping in the wilderness, and he just started to do this as a hobby, and just releasing a couple of videos. He has over 20,000 subscribers already, and
Ooh.
he's considering starting to do this full time now because he gets so much money out of it. See, that's the probably the best kind of way to starting something like this. You already have a stable life, maybe a job and everything, but there is still a hobby you'll enjoy doing. And then in rare occasions, maybe that hobby turns into something else, something bigger. And I think in his case, it will be pretty realistic to change from his current job into making content creation full time. But definitely not a thing everyone and anyone can do, because just like any job, if you consider this as a job or it becomes your job, it's actually way harder than you could ever imagine. As you might imagine, Chrissy as well, making especially YouTube videos, editing, and the research you have to put into the videos, like that's probably going to take a lot of time, right?
Yeah, it takes a lot of time, but it's all a hobby. Like I do not earn any money. I try to limit like ads and stuff because I hate ads. So I try to like minimize all of that. So but it's a fun thing to do. So
random thoughts about ads. I had my front page chance just last month, and I decided to try this really crazy thing to just maximize my ad profit. So I maxed all the ads, which were like, I don't even know, there was so many ads per hour. I can't remember how many. So I just tried it out, tried to maximize the profit, see how much I make. And that was not a good idea. I think I not only halved or maybe just minimized the amount of people entering my stream because of it, but it didn't even pay that much. I think it was like 300 euros more, and that's it. I think my last front page chance was way too much, way more than what it was right now, and that was just one of those things that I will never do again, because like you, like me, everyone hates ads, and maximizing
hey,
them
it's
doesn't seem to
something
be
you
the
have
best
to
thing.
try. It is just something you have to try, and like now you know, right? It's
Yeah.
not a thing for you, and stuff happens, right?
Well, yeah, it had to be tested out, because obviously I had money symbols in my eyes. I was like, wow, I'm going to be on front page. I'm going to make so much
Wow.
money out of ads. And yeah, that was definitely not the case. It's just, oh well. Yeah, had to try the opportunity to see what happens, but didn't work out as expected. That's okay. At least we'll test it out.
While we're actually on the topic of like streaming and giving
Yeah.
things a chance and stuff, I decided after like helping out with different marathons. I helped you with some stuff. I've helped the Mega Man community holding some stuff.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed that. So I wanted to take the chance and start my own marathon.
Oh, what is this all about?
So in December 2 years ago, I met up with Nordic. He is a speedrunner. He's also been doing a lot of event work. We met up and we decided to start hosting an event called Norway Speedrunner Gathering.
Okay.
So
Is that a charity event?
yes, it's an in real life event, just like
Oh, okay.
ESA and BSG and UKSG and stuff.
Like on stage.
Yes, on stage. So we've had 2 events. We had NSG Spring 24 and NSG Fall 24 last year.
Mm-hmm.
And on April 11th to the 13th this year, we're going to have NSG Spring again. And I'm going to play Super Mario 64 blindfolded there.
Really? How many stars?
1 star.
Oh, just 1 star. Yeah, well, that's... How do you even prepare for something like that? On stage?
I've been... on stage? I was about to say I've practiced a lot. I think to prepare myself for a stage, I was thinking like a kitten unicorn, like a sleeping mask.
Oh, God. I know at least one speedrunner. Obviously, everyone probably knows the same guy, but there's one guy that does exactly blindfold speedruns.
Bobsia, probably.
Yeah, that's the guy. I think he did Sekiro as well, but mostly Mario 64, multiple different star categories. Do you take the inspiration from that, or like what's the reasoning? Because I have never even heard you talking about blindfold speedrunning before. You have done a lot of crazy things, but this is the first time I've heard you
Yeah, exactly.
talking about
Isn't this
stuff.
my thing now? No, but okay. So NSG. Let's shorten Norway speedrun to NSG, right?
Yes.
We earn in money to Norway's Norway. Okay, how do I say this? Like it's a place that helps blind and partly sighted people in Norway.
Mm-hmm.
It's a shame that I don't know the name. It's Norges Blindeforbund in Norwegian at least.
Well, that's all we needed. I'm sure everyone got that.
Exactly. So we've been earning money for them, and we've raised about 7,000 euros in total now.
Okay, cool.
So because that's the charity, I thought it would be really fun for me to learn, at least just to get 1 star blindfolded.
So you're not going to finish the game just getting the 1 star, right?
Just 1 star, yeah.
Okay.
So
yeah,
then I decided like, hey, it would be fun if I went against someone who's not blind, sorry, that's not blindfolded.
not blind. Way to choose your words there, Mr. Chrissy. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. Me and my friend Martin are going to race against each other. The goal is to get 1 star. I will be blindfolded, and he has not played the game in 20 years.
But he still knows the game, right?
No, not really.
Okay. I was just about to say maybe you should play against someone who has never played the game before, have no idea what
he's technically hasn't played the game before.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, that's good.
I asked him, do you know where the star is? There's stars.
Well,
so, yeah.
Where is the first star? I think it's in the first world. There's nothing in the hub world, right?
Nope. The first and fastest star, and the one that I practiced for, is the Chain Chomp star.
Okay, so that's... Yeah, I know where it is. Okay, that makes sense.
So, I've practiced, and I know all the strats. I can't really say yet that I'm 100% consistent RTA, but it's getting there. That's the reason why I decided to go in blindfold, because I think it would be really cool with the charity and to showcase that you don't really need to see to be good at gaming, right?
That's such a crazy concept. How do you practice blindfold runs? Because for me, that is like a whole world, like a whole different world of speedrunning or gaming in general. You're relying on hearing, and there's no visual cues. There's no like proper timings, except obviously using audio cues. But like, have you practiced this at all? Like, do you have any kind of experience whatsoever of blindfolding running?
I started practicing 2 months ago.
Okay.
But the last month is when I've actually put in. Sorry, the last 2 weeks is when I've actually had time enough to try to get consistent with it.
So not months, weeks.
I started like a month ago, but now
okay.
these last 2 weeks I've had time to practice more.
Yeah, makes sense.
But yeah, it has a lot to do with hearing where you are, and if you do as a very quick example, when you get out of the pipe in the start of the game, you will be faced straight forward to the fence near the castle. So you would run over there, so you can hear Mario's footsteps as he runs. And when he reaches the fence, he will like the audio will stop for his feet, right? Because he's pushing against the thing. And when that happens, I hold like a little bit right on the Joy-Con or the controller.
Mm-hmm.
And then you will start to hear Mario does like the whoosh, whoosh, whoosh kind of thing.
Yeah.
And that's me knowing that I'm against the fence. And then I continue the whoosh, 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 and then I will hit the trigger for Lakitu, like when he asks for the camera. And when that happens, Mario will actually be facing in a really weird camera position, because the camera will be pointing to like the corner of the castle. So then I just line up the camera using the like the Mario cam setting that's in the game, which will allow me to make Mario look straight forward. And then I just hold up. That's pretty much like a good start of it.
Wow, I can't even start imagining how hard that is. But Mario 64, like when Mario is on a different textured ground or floor, it does make a different sound effect, right? Like depending whether he's on a grass or dirt or metal, it does make a different sound when he walks or runs. Is that right, or am I completely wrong?
I don't know for sure about that, actually. At least I think there's one for the grass texture, but it's something that they're so alike that I don't really hear the difference. I still know that I'm walking forward, right? So, but yeah, it's a really, really fun thing, and I really hope that I get it first try during the marathon.
Yeah.
But it's like I have timed it, and it takes me about 2 minutes and 30 seconds to do my route for what I need to do, if everything goes perfect. That is.
Just for the one star.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if I fail, I can just reset, right, and then do it over again. Because there's backups, but I feel like it might be better to maybe do it from the start when it's only 2 minutes.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's by the way, that's 2 minutes when I don't do like optimized because you can also like do long jumps, if you know what that is in the game.
Yeah. Well, I don't think anyone expecting you to be super optimized when it comes to blindfold, especially when you're starting it. It's a whole different
exactly.
world.
But you can optimize it with long jumps. But
yeah.
I made it like a little bit easier for myself. Like, because there is a very, very hard trick that I don't want to say right now, because I do want people to tune in and check it out. But yeah, it's a really, really fun challenge, and I really like that we can like show people that are watching that just that's blind. Even if you're blind or partially sighted, you can still play these games, because they are even games that are not like accessibility oriented, right?
Yeah.
And it's important, because gaming is for everybody.
That is quite something that you actually thought about doing something like that, which is obviously fully connected to the charity as well in the event. And then you just decide to just kind of cherish that whole thing by doing a blindfold attempt. But you're right, anyone can do it, and it's just a matter of practice. Like one of the most insane things was when I was watching GDQ. Not only the Mario run, but the Sekiro run blindfolded is. So many people were like in the comments, once again going back to this subject, like, "Wow, that's not even that impressive." Like what what do you mean not impressive? The entire game blindfolded Sekiro while parrying is like everything. I mean, yeah, there's audio cues, but holy crap, that requires some massive amount of practice. Let alone
this turns us back to, oh, sorry, go on.
Like let alone pulling off like Mario 64, whether it's no matter how many stars it is, it's just so insane.
But that kind of turns us back to what we talked about when like negative comments, right? Like there's always one person who's like, "Oh, I can do that in my sleep." Come on, man.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
So
Wow,
yeah.
that is a whole different world. I keep repeating myself, but just close your eyes and just imagine losing your eyesight and just not being able to see anything. You lose one of your most valued like senses as a human being, and then you have to rely on your ears, and well, you can't really feel anything unless you play with the controller. Then vibrations can help you, as far as I can say. I don't know if that's a thing in blindfolded running that you can actually just move
I
into
don't
a
think
certain
there's
position.
I don't think there's any vibration. It's at least what I've experienced in Mario 64. There's the sound. There is like lining up, using the like lining up the camera, right?
Camera,
Like you
yeah,
have a
yeah.
combination. And lastly, is something as advanced as counting beats in the music.
Wow. Okay. Well, it makes sense. That's another audio cue. Okay. Well, I guess not in that game, but in general, I think vibrations might be something those kind of runners could use, since it's another sense we could use. Feeling instead of hearing. So maybe in some other modern game where vibrations are a thing, you could use that as a advantage to run the game blindfolded.
It kind of reminds me of when Chelny did the Skullman stage blindfolded.
Oh yeah, Mega Man 4.
That was, but like, I feel like that was more. I don't know. I haven't looked into it as much, but like I think there's some audio cues, but I think he also used a lot of like not muscle memory, but like remembering like to do inputs here and there, right?
Yeah, to be fair, he also remembers every single detail on the stage. Like he memorized everything, so that also obviously makes things easier when you have a good memory, which I don't.
Oh, he's what do you mean? He has never played Mega Man 4 in his life.
Only like 50,000 attempts or whatever, like something.
Yeah, that was really cool though.
Kind of off topic as well, but there was this one guy on classic Mega Man Discord just other day saying like how good of a person can be on a Mega Man after like 300 attempts, and I feel like that's a huge amount of runs in the game. And I think a lot of people were just rolling their eyes for a moment, like 300. Let me tell you about something. My attempts, I have like 100,000 attempts. So that's a fun little thing about people who have not speedrun that much in the past. Let me tell you, there's a lot of repetition. 300 is probably baby steps when it comes to any game out there, but some of these guys have so many thousands of hours in a game.
I think the only game that I reach like a 5 number in is Mega Man 5, where I have like 10,000 attempts in total. But it's like, I mean, 300 attempts, you can get a PB or two in there.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's another mentality and approaching these games. Like, do you reset all the time? Like you said, you have 10,000 attempts, but how many of those are just quick resets?
Just Starman resets.
Yeah, like it's obviously it adds up to the amount of attempts you have, but to be completely fair, retro gaming, especially when you reset a lot. I'm not talking about long games like hours and hours to end. I don't think you reset a lot of in those because you obviously don't have the time to reset. Just one run to go through, and that's all. But yeah, it adds up to the counter when you reset all the time. So not all of them have been completed.
No, but I there's one thing a person told me a few years ago that it's a very, very good thing if you're just starting out speedrunning, and that was Andy, who told me that try to finish runs even though you're under like your time. Just try to finish some runs, because if you keep resetting, even though you have learned the tricks in the later stages, it's always good to at least finish one run in when you're doing it. And I started doing that, and that did get me the 35 in Mega Man 5 that I wanted. Because I was so like, I'm already plus after like the fourth stage, right? Like there's like 12 or more stages. So yeah.
Yeah, that's it keeps happening to a lot of runners as well. You start building up a huge consistency for the early game because of the resets, but then because you do the resets, you lose the consistency towards the end of the game, which once again doesn't provide consistency throughout the entire run, just like Chrissy said. So that's why it's. I know it's hard not to reset because I do it myself as well, but that is a really good point that if you want to speed run, then just try to finish some runs, no matter how poor execution or no matter how much behind you are from your current PB. It just builds up consistency. And I actually know a couple of runners who just don't reset at all. They don't care. They just, whether it's plus 5 minutes or whatever, they just finish the run and be happy about it. Because just like everything else, content creation wise, speedrun is also entertainment. We get frustrated. Some get even super annoyed. Hopefully not to the point where they're mashing their tools and controllers around, but it's a form of entertainment as well. Just to have the adrenaline rush of finishing a run or getting a new PB. Hell, even some world records or new records being broken. That actually brings a whole level of excitement for you and the audience as well. So yeah, definitely try not to reset all the time. We were talking about you organizing events. Can you tell me something about Classic Mega Man Relay? Are we going to get one this year? What is it? Because I know there's a lot of people who don't know what Classic Mega Man Relay is. And yeah, have you planned it? Are we going to get it? Tell me.
Yeah, like the Classic Mega Man Relay is basically a event that we have in the Classic community, where we gather together and have qualifiers, where the top 4 in each game gets put into a team, and then we have those 4 teams, one person from each game, they're like race each other at a long race. I have been hosting that for I think 3 years now, at least since the last one. 3 years. 3 years. Yeah, I've had 3 ones.
Yeah.
Before that, it was Yoko who had it. It's it has a lot to do the reasoning why I haven't like done any new one is because of like NSG. Like I have to put a lot of focus into that because it's currently my passion and it's been my dream to do it for a very long time.
Right.
And like it's just that I have other things like the YouTube channel has picked up. I've also I don't know, can I blame that I'm old? I can't do so much things anymore.
You still have plenty of years.
No, but I'm not sure if we're going to get it this year yet. Like there's always that somebody else picks up the mantle, right? And takes it. Like I can happily help with it, but there's a lot of work that goes behind the scenes, like getting stuff together so people can easily join in. And trying to make it easy for everybody to, let's say when I'm restreaming, right? I have like a layout that I send out to people. Like, please put your game in here. Please put your splits here.
Yeah.
There's a big reason to why I made that, because it makes my job 1 million times easier. And like just that takes a lot of energy. And then, getting commentators and everything. But I feel like if we're going to get a new relay, it's probably going to be sometime during the summer, because I am way too busy in the later year. But yeah, do you want to play? Do you want to play video games? Is that what you're asking?
That's the relay thing I can relate to in some regard, because making the layouts as simple as possible for people seems to be a thing that is never going to succeed. you can have a massive text that says, put your gameplay here and live split here, use this and that, and you're done. But only 5 out of 10 people will do it. So I can understand the stress it causes because I've been there myself.
And then it's like, why? Okay, I see that you went live. Your setup is not correct. And then they're like, yeah, but this is how I use it normally. It's like, that is fine. That is fine. But then I would have to manually crop you, and that will mess up the entire setup, right? So then it's like, you can race, but you will not be featured on the stream. As easy as that. It's at least for qualifiers.
Yeah, asking questions is definitely easier than not asking them when you have already done and the whole event is going on. That's cool. There's probably going to be like, I don't know, 60, 70 people to control in that kind of a relay, depending how many teams we would have. But yeah, that's a lot of games, a lot of players to coordinate at the same time.
Remember we had I think it was 3 years ago, the biggest classic Mega Man relay when we had 4 teams with 12 people in each team.
Yeah,
that was so fun, and it was just so fun to see everybody getting together. So of course I really want to do it again. It's just I don't have time for it at all. It's kind of sad.
Sharing the workload is kind of important. You have doing so much work alone, but
I have not. I have had a lot of help from people, especially Mr. Cab and Mello has been a huge help getting together, like the show, not showcases, but the compilations during the drafts and stuff.
Oh yeah,
and helping me out with that. But we can definitely reach out to people and try to make more of like a team based around it. Like it has been discussed already, but it's just like. Yeah. Again, I don't have time to put my energy and stuff into it just yet, so...
Yeah. Obviously, it will be way less of a work if you would just focus on layouts yourself, and then there will be another group of people focusing on getting the players, and another group of people just maybe just explaining other people when we're doing qualifiers and whatnot. So obviously just lessening the workload just by having more people there. But yeah, I can understand your point as well. I mean, having less time and whatnot. So it's not another thing we have to do every year, but hopefully someday we will again.
But the positive thing is that people want it, which means only one thing, and that is that I guess I did an okay job.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, obviously
that's what I like to think.
There's going to be classic Mega Man games where people don't even play that actively. So finding people to play those games is usually one of the problems we face. But
yeah, if the relay happens later this year, you're playing Mega Man 8, right?
No, but I can make some
I managed. I managed to mention the the unholy trinity of a mod during this podcast now.
I know.
We had Stantler and we had Mega Man 8. Oh, that's
the only thing
so
that's
great.
missing right now is the happiest song in existence, and then it's done because you know exactly what
it's
we're talking about.
It's a happy song.
Yep, exactly.
Oh, this is great.
Now you ruined my mojo completely. I don't know how to continue. The Holy Trinity has been broken.
Mortis.
I was actually browsing your Twitch page yesterday, like I said. Not only the speedruns you have made, but your first video ever, the VOD that was still there, was really bad quality Harry Potter game.
Oh, you found the 264p era.
That was 8 years ago. Is that when you started to stream?
That's when I started to stream on this Twitch channel, yeah.
Oh, nice. And what made you play Harry Potter game?
So this is quite funny, right? Because I remember that I had just moved out like I had gone to like college and all that stuff, right? So I was just educated. I moved back a little bit to my mom's, and I lived there for I think a year or two, just because I didn't have money, right, to be anywhere. Yeah. And then I moved out, and I remember that I had barely started doing some Pokemon shiny hunting, and then I wanted to like stream more because I thought it was really fun, but I didn't have any internet when I just moved there.
Yeah.
So what that VOD you're talking about is me streaming in 264p from my limited data plan on my phone.
Like almost a modem, not quite, but almost.
Yeah, pretty much like that. And that's and then I just decided, I want to play Harry Potter because it's one of my favorite childhood games.
Yeah.
And yeah, you can see that chef's kiss, very nice quality.
That was amazing quality. Yeah, nostalgia right there.
Yeah, it's probably a very fun thing that I want to add to that, Ahmad, is I did speedrunning a little bit back then. And I got a sub 4 minute time in Super Mario Bros. 3, like any percent. And that video on speedrun.com is that same quality. So there's a comment from Kirua there. It says like, please do a local recording next time.
Obviously, there's a reason why the quality is as bad as it is.
Yeah. But that was really fun.
Well, that was a kind of a random question, but what's your future plans?
So my future plans is to put all my energy into NSG and to get money in for the charity. And the charity, I want to redeem myself and say the English name. Just so it's the Norwegian Association of the Blind and Partially Sighted. I
will add a link down to the description as well.
Yeah, please do. So put all my energy into NSG. I also want to visit the BSG and UKSG. That's the UK and the Netherlands versions, basically.
So sorry to interrupt. Where, since you said this was a on stage event, like in real life, like where is it happening? Are you renting a place, or like are you doing it from your own place, or like where's this place?
We've rented a huge building in Gjerdrum Ask. It's a place a little bit outside of Oslo. You can actually read more about it at nsgmarathon.com. Like we have like everything there, so you can probably add that link as well if you want.
yeah, I will.
But yeah, we rented a huge building, and like we have a huge like auditorium with a cinema thing where we're gonna have the stream, right? So people can sit on chairs behind, right, and stuff.
Yeah.
So you just imagine like GDQ but way smaller.
But not in someone's basement.
No. But it's if you haven't seen it yet or anything, like we've had 2 events, so like definitely check us out. We're everywhere. Just don't search for NSG, and then you will get Norwegian Goat and Sheep Association.
Okay.
But yeah,
don't mix these two.
No, we are not Goat and Sheep Association. But that's my plan to focus on that, because it's really fun, and I've also gotten to meet a lot of amazing runners and people, and we just like to have fun.
That's awesome. Anything else for the future? Like, do you want to improve your speedruns? Is that something you want to do? What about the horror games?
I can say that I really want to get a 34 in Mega Man 5. And that will be my final goal, really, for speedrunning, I think. Okay, that and sub 10 in Chip and Dale. Those 2. That's my, like, then I'll be happy.
Heck yeah.
But for horror games, there's Week of Horror is gonna return in October.
Okay.
Then there's gonna be some scary games. But yeah, besides that, I think NSG takes a lot of the time.
Yeah, good goals. Much respect for your future ideas. Hopefully it goes well as well. I still have to ask, how many foreign people have your events been getting so far? I'm sure none of them, not all of them have been Norwegian people, right, in the event?
The majority is people that doesn't live in Norway.
Oh, okay.
I think we had people from 11 different countries last event.
Europe mostly, I assume, not from States or...
We had someone from America.
Okay.
We had a lot of people. Yeah, a lot of people from Europe, like down around the Germany area, the Netherlands.
Yeah.
Estonia, stuff like that.
Okay.
It's really fun to just like meet up with these people and then like, yeah, you like the Nordic country, the weather, very good.
And then they suffer. What a great way to introduce Norway.
It's okay, it's not really funny, but it's like the first event we had a power cut because there was a snowstorm.
Oh, okay.
So we had to wait, like I think it was almost 2 hours before we got the power back. Like the entire area around Oslo, the power went down. And
weren't you streaming this?
Yeah, we streamed.
Because I think I remember this. You had a long break because of the...
Oh no, we didn't. We actually just connected a phone to a camera, okay. And we filmed it like that, and then Lord Mouse played his game like MacPixel, I think it was, on his Steam Deck.
That was funny.
The show must go on.
Yeah.
What
an awesome idea. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I remember that. That was a funny moment, but you gotta do what you gotta do, right? Just to keep the whole thing going.
Exactly. It's
nice.
Really fun.
Okay, well, we are approaching the end of this interview / Chris's worst nightmare to be, social with me.
Oh man, is it over? Oh god.
Not quite.
No! I'm just kidding.
Okay. So I'm gonna give all my guests a little puzzle. Let's call it a puzzle. More like a little thought and time to think about your next words. For JP, I asked about some random robot masters, but for you, since I am horrible at horror games, and not as much as one of my friends, like Carter Freak. Carter is absolutely terrified to play any kind of a horror game. You play them even though you're scared, so all props to you, 100%. I can play them as well, but if there's something that is related to deep ocean kind of games, like Subnautica was absolutely freaking terrifying for me. If there's one thing I remember from the game, I started off playing it. I actually pre-ordered the game back in the day, but I only played it like last year for the first time. It starts off pretty nicely, There's nothing to be afraid of, unless you're afraid of ocean by itself. You dive down, you go like, what a peaceful moment. And I remember this one moment, I actually told this to a couple of my other friends the other day, but you played the game before, right? Subnautica.
Pretty much the same amount that you played.
Oh, because I finished the game.
Oh, okay. No, then I only opened it once and then found it boring.
Okay, yeah, well, I was like that at first as well, but for some reason, I have the massive fear of depths, ocean depths, or the emptiness of it. And it took me forever to play the game and get the courage to play the game. But like I said, it starts off pretty calmly. There's nothing to be afraid of. Everything is vibrant, colorful. Everything is so peaceful. And after like an hour or two crafting my way deeper and obviously further into the game, I approached the big ship you see in the distance. Obviously the crash ship you came to the planet in the first place. And spoiler, there's some pretty nasty leviathans surrounding that area. It's a noob trap, let's call it like that. The first introduction to reapers, and I remember just it was not even deep, by the way, mind you. This was just the sounds of the oceans and all the creatures around us. So I approached the thing. I went there and I heard something on my right ear, like some kind of a roar. I was like, wait a second, that was not a thing I heard before. And already I was sweating. I was just panicking. And then the next roar was already so much closer. And that's when I started to freak out. I had to close my eyes for a moment. All sorts of like panicking emotions going on. Funny thing is, by the way, the Reapers, if you hear the roar, they've already seen you. They know where you are. So that was already bad news for me. And then the next thing I know, the Reaper grabs me from behind. Obviously, the camera turned around and he tries to eat me. That was the moment when I pulled off my headphones. I tossed them across the room and I ran into my bedroom and just stayed there for like 30 minutes. Like, like that kind of a phobia game is. There's a few of them on Steam. Subnautica is obviously not supposed to be a horror game, but if you have the fear of unknown and the depths of, the ocean depths and the darkness, then it's going to be an absolute horror story. But I finished it. I managed to push through, and that was one of my greatest moments in video gaming in past year or two. So, related to that, Chrissy, what kind of a horror game would be absolutely too much for you? Like, use your imagination. What sort of video game would you just say nope? I'm not playing this anymore. I'm done with it. So tell me like what kind of setting we would be looking at if you would make, or you would have to play a video game that is so terrifying that you just can't play it anymore.
Okay, so I don't want to sound like I'm like all tough and stuff, because I get really scared really quickly. But there's no really setting that like gets me under my skin. I just get scared anyways. But it's not like a phobia kind of scared, right? If that makes any sense.
So nothing at all. No huge heights. No VR setting. Like nothing.
No, not really. But I can tell you the game that I've been most scared of when I played, like what scared me the most.
Okay.
And that was have you ever heard about the game called Fairs to Fathom?
Name is familiar, yes. I can't remember what the game was all about though.
It's basically an episodic like horror game that based on like stories that people have shared on Reddit from what they experienced in real life.
Okay.
And the last episode that was made has like a guy going to a post in the forest, like a ranger post.
Yeah.
And there's some people lurking around your like post at night.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to like spoil it because it's a really great series. It has like 4 episodes now. But just like going out of that like tower and going down to turn on the generator because the generator turned off. Just that made me like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to go there. I don't want to do that. So yeah, that there was other things too, but I don't want to spoil it. But that game that got under my skin a little bit.
But nothing like a massive reaction.
Not
like
really.
just...
No. I just scream anyways.
What was the game where you went underwater, but the plot twist that you were actually a robot yourself? I can't remember
BioShock?
The name. It was no, not BioShock. The creator from the I can't remember the names. Damn. Either way, there was one moment where you went like to the depths of the oceans, like all the way to the darkest point in that specific ocean.
Are you talking about Iron Lung?
No.
Okay.
It was a very simple name in the game. I can't remember. It's at the tip of my tongue here. Either way, you went to used the elevator to go to the very depths of the ocean floor, and there was this moment. It's actually a let's play on my YouTube channel as well, which for some reason I finished all the way as well, which is achievement by itself. But
Do you like pain, Ahmad? Is that? Do we have to have a talk?
no, it's. But you would find this really interesting. Despite my fear and everything, there's still this curious mind that wants me to play these kind of games and experience the fear. I don't know why is that, but it's still there, no matter how afraid I am. But anyways, you go to the deepest part of the ocean, and there's these lights pointing you away where to go, and then because it is the darkest, most deepest point of the oceans, there's this one extra light. I was like, oh, that's where I need to go. That's probably the next light post that guides me. Some kind of a weird current going on, lots of water pushing through your body, and whatever helmet you were using there. All these weird sounds, loud sounds, and then the light at the distance. I was like, that's the place where I need to go. And then out of the blue, it just became so close and so obvious before it's too late. One of those freaking anglerfish monsters right in front of me. That was another moment where I just jumped and left like, okay, I'm done. Nope. Not today anymore. That's done. The game knew exactly what they wanted to do.
I just realized a game that got to me so good that I haven't played it again. Like I just remembered it. It's Amnesia: The Bunker. I cannot play that game.
I think that's exactly the developer, by the way. Amnesia. They made another game.
Oh, was it Penumbra? Is that? No, that's an old one.
No, not that. But I think it was the developer from Amnesia who made the game. Soma. I think that was the name of the game.
Soma. Yeah.
There we go. Now I remember it. But yeah, the entire game is underwater, which is nothing. But the moment you go like into the very, very darkest depths of it, that was the most scariest thing I've had in a while before Subnautica. Before the elevator section as well, there's one moment where you can actually look over to the depths of the oceans. Like, it's just complete darkness. Not only you can look, but you can actually jump into the darkness. I couldn't do it. I had no curious mind or thought that I would just jump there and see what happens. Because in my mind, somebody's going to eat me. Something's going to happen. But in reality, if you jump over into the darkness, you keep falling. And what happens is that your helmet shatters and the pressure kills you. You just drown and die. So
Jesus.
I didn't experience this cutscene myself, but I was just too scared. I looked down. I was like, no, elevator. That's my way to go. I'm not going to jump there. So all these horror games are definitely, they're for me. It's just these games are just enhancing my fear, and it's just one of these things that probably makes good content for people to watch as well. But I can relate to you when it comes to fear, because those fears are just so much more enhanced, even though you do scream a lot during your...
Yeah, I just like, I'm easily scared, but I don't really have any phobias. So, yeah.
Everyone has a phobia. We just gotta find yours.
Oh, but I'm too tired to look for my phobia, man. Come on.
Maybe it's a cute penguin or something.
Yeah, that is probably it.
I don't know. Well, either way, phobias aside, thank you, Chrissy, for having this time with me to talk about phobias and whatnot. I will give you the stage and promote yourself. Go ahead. Where can people find you? Social media, streams, YouTube. Stage is yours. Go ahead.
You can find me at KaiserKrister on YouTube and on Twitch. And check out NSG. NSGmarathon.com is very nice. Yeah.
Indeed.
That's all.
That's all?
Yeah.
No Blue Sky, no social media sites?
Nah. They can
Okay.
find me on those if they want to.
Wow. I'm not even going to fully take advantage of this chance to promote yourself. Well, I respect that. Okay, well, like I said, thank you, Chrissy, for coming as a quest to this awesome quest. Yeah, you're a quest now, not a guest. Good English.
Yeah, let's go.
It's been a ongoing project. I've been having some busy times, so I haven't had the time to record these episodes, but eventually they will keep popping out more frequently. And Chrissy is quite the talker, especially on his stream, so definitely go and follow him, especially if you like content that is extremely random but consistent in a ways that makes you laugh. And that's what Chrissy is all about. Good times. And Jared is related stuff as well, so he's a very nice guy to be around with. Thanks for
Ditto,
listening.
Ahmad.
Yeah. Any last
Sorry.
words, Chrissy? Go ahead.
No, just ditto. You're also amazing guy. A good charity guy, yes.
Occasionally, thank you. Well, that's about for this episode, and thanks for listening, and I will see you guys on the next episode coming up someday soon, hopefully. And yeah, have a good one. Bye for now.